At Highland Pellets, the word sustainability is more than just a business requirement. It's the DNA of everything we do. From how we source our wood, to how we make our pellets, to how we work with our customers, to how our employees operate, and how we engage with our local communities. Our pledge to being accountable in everything we do drives us to ensure sustainability is at the core of who we are. It all starts with our partners in the forest plantations. Our pellets are sourced from the southern yellow pine taken from managed forests in the local surrounding area. We are only interested in purchasing forest and mill residuals that have a low commercial value. Around 80% of our wood comes from forest thinnings. This is where the trees in a forest growing become overcrowded and need to be thinned. We also use the treetops that are rejected as too thin by the sawmills. And we utilize mill residuals such as sawdust, wood shavings, and bark so that we extract greater value out of existing wood resources. This is what an overgrown forest looks like. Here you can see that the trees are too crowded, which doesn't allow them to receive the appropriate nutrients and water from the soil. Sunlight is only able to reach the top part of the trees, which inhibits the lower part of the trees to grow healthy branches and leaves. This restriction in healthy growth reduces the tree's value as saw logs. And if a forest is not thin, then it will build up dry, dense material that has a higher risk of disease and catching fire. Proper forest thinning drastically reduces these risks. Here is what a healthy managed forest looks like. The trees are larger and healthier. The trees have more leaves, which is important for absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Notice that the floor of the forest is filled with other types of vegetation, and that wild hardwood trees also grow amongst the pine trees. This is a semi-natural forest with a wide diversity of fauna, bushes, and trees that support an abundance of local wildlife. Most of the hardwood trees will be retained when the rest of the pine trees are harvested. Thinning is important for the health of the forest as well as the livelihood of a skilled forestry workforce and the surrounding community. Pine Bluff is a community that has suffered severe economic decline in recent years, with high unemployment and reduction in local industry. Our facility is hiring 85 full-time jobs and will support over 800 indirect jobs in the immediate area, providing an estimated $62 million annually to the local economy. If the forest is not actively thinned, the local foresters and haulers may not have enough work to retain their jobs, impacting their personal lives and their surrounding communities.
If we don't take care of the land and the resources that God has given us, then there's really no reason that we don't need to be here. If we can't take care of it, on our end, then there's not going to be a timber industry anymore.
The managed forests where we source our wood from are divided into stands of different ages. The oldest stands have the tallest trees, while the younger stands have shorter trees. The stands have a first thinning after around 12 to 14 years and a second thinning after 18 to 21 years before being harvested for saw logs after approximately 27 years. We carefully reviewed the operations of our suppliers to ensure best management practices are followed. We do this not only because it is demanded by our customers, but also because we know it provides the best available working practices for keeping our forests healthy and sustainable. It is important we know exactly where each load of wood is coming from. We therefore use a secure track and trace system to identify the source of every delivery of wood. Without the truck providing a valid GPS source and contract number, it is unable to enter the Highland site.
We know where all of our wood goes to each mill. We have reports that we know every day when a load is hauled. We keep up with that. When a load is hauled in, I get a text showing the ticket, the amount that it weighed, when it was hauled. So, everything is high tech and we have to take advantage of it.
Once the fiber comes on to the plant site, our scale house scans a barcode on the ticket that the driver has with them. That barcode defines where that timber was harvested with the geographical location, the track number, and all the sustainable credits that we need associated with that timber. We will not allow any fiber to come onto our plant site that is not from an approved source or from an approved tract of land. Highland Pellets uses 100% of the fiber that comes in across our scales. Depending upon seasonality, 10 to 12% goes into bark that we utilize for our heat process in our furnaces, and the remainder of the wood goes into making pellets.
When people hear of wood being used for energy, they may have visions of large areas of natural forests being cut down to make wood pellets. That is incorrect. Highland sources its wood from forest thinnings, treetops, and sawmill residuals. It should be remembered that managed forests are grown to be harvested for many different products, such as saw logs for the construction industry, furniture, board, and paper. To put the size of the wood pellet market into context, the amount of wood used for making pellets in the U.S. South represented less than 4% of the total wood removed for all markets in 2016.
When you think about forestry, most folks think about cutting timber and they see log trucks on the road, but they don't think of all the other environmental benefits that we're getting from actively managed forests. If we're not actively managing those forests, then nature takes its course. Those trees are going to get older and older. They put on more and more biomass, they get more and more dense, they're more susceptible to fire, insects, disease. And without active management, then all of that is at risk, and it's really not sustainable.
For the forest to be sustainable, it is essential that at least one new tree is replanted for every tree that is removed. All of Highland's wood suppliers will replant their lands with new trees. In fact, for our region, an average of 3 new trees will be replanted for every 2 trees removed, providing a growth to removal ratio of approximately 3 to 2. At Highland Pellets, we have joined several recognized forest sustainability programs, including PEFC Chain of Custody, FSC Chain of Custody, and the Sustainable Biomass Program. Highland is independently audited for compliance with each of these programs every year. Highland Pellets has made a good start in ensuring everything we do is sustainable for the local forest where we source our wood and the community where we are based. But we want to do more. We want to provide an example through our actions and to encourage the wider industry and all private landowners to also be sustainable in how they source wood and manage their lands. Please visit our website for more information. Highland Pellets, sustainable fuel for our future.